What up? What up? What up? Good morning, everybody. CustomBeatKing.com. It's JPad the Juggernaut. How y'all feeling today? Happy Pisces season to all my fellow Pisces. You know what I'm saying? It is our season. Seems to me like people tend to overlook Pisces season for whatever reason they choose to overlook it. Um, that's neither here nor there, but shout out to the Pisces. You know what I'm saying? All my brothers and sisters and friends, lovers, all y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make the world go round. Whether people choose to accept that or not is one thing, but we definitely make the world go round. Pisces is the 12th and final zodiac sign, and it's known to some, not maybe to everybody, but to some, it's known as the sign that actually contains all of these signs prior to it. What up, C? Yeah, all the signs prior to Pisces are contained in Pisces. So it's like, you know, we have a lot of things that we absorb in this life. And unapologetically, I'm going to say this, it can get tough. How you doing, brother? I'm doing fine. Doing fine. Doing fine, man. Can't complain at all. On my way to the Cray Collective with KB. We're going to have a good session today. Might mess around and go live and show y'all the experience. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why I was bringing that stuff up was to say, no matter what life tries to weigh on you, you got to stay set on the high vibration. Stay set on the high vibration no matter what. Because we absorb a lot as Pisces. We absorb a lot of energy from other people. When people are feeling down, we can feel that really strong. When people are feeling good, you know what I'm saying? We can feel that too, or anything, feeling pressure, all of that stuff. And it all can be a little overwhelming sometimes because it's a lot. Normally, a lot of people gravitate to our sign, you know what I mean? And really kind of like just rely on us for a lot of stuff. And whether it's known or not known, most of the time, the people you rely on the most are more than likely your Pisces. I'm not saying that we always are, but just a message to my fellow Pisces, man. You can only control what you can control. Everything else is out of your hands. And I had to learn that myself. Like once I realized that there were certain things and certain things that transpired that are out of my control, there's nothing I can really do about that. I had to start charging it to the game and letting it be. Because the only way you're going to be able to keep your mindset sharp is if you start understanding what you have to hold on to and what you need to let go of. And I reflect during this time of year because it's our season, Pisces season. And I always do a lot of reflecting on things that I'm accountable for or I held myself accountable for and things I try to hold other people accountable for. But you got to be able to hold accountability to yourself too. And so we start there. I start with holding myself accountable for things that go right and hold myself accountable for things that do not go right. We all play a role in these things, whether they go good or whether they go bad. How we choose to deal with those things is another thing. How we react to certain things is another thing too. That's why I was saying that about a month or so ago when the weather was really bad out here, good day. Because that's in your control. Regardless of what's going on, you can still have a good day. Who's to tell you that you can't? You can still have a good day. Accountability is very important. Yes. Individual accountability is all the way important. See, you know what I'm saying? And I, for one, want to assume all of the accountability that I'm responsible for, be it good, be it bad, be it whatever, in between, however you want to slice it. But yeah, it's important to recognize and realize that you do have the ability to have positivity in your life, to have, you know, a lot of good things come your way. But a lot of people stop that by the way that they react to things. You react to things poorly, poor things are going to stay around you. If your mindset is poor, that's why your pockets is poor. You got to change your mindset. Changing your mindset is the key, and focusing on more of the positive outcomes and really believing in things that belong to you. Believing, really believing, not just saying it just because it's popular and fashionable to say it, but actually believing that the good, oh no, everything does not require a response or a reaction. Absolutely. Yep. That's why I've been kind of quiet lately over these last couple of weeks while a lot of people was doing a lot of talking. It's because everything does not require a response or a reaction. Heard it from my man C right there. You know what I'm saying? Everything does not require a response or a reaction. And the more that we learn how to react better and stop being bitter, the further we're going to get down the road. This is a reminder that I give to myself all the time. And there's an app called the Secret Super app. I use that in the morning when I get up to kind of like shape and structure my day for positive outcomes, because you can read testimonials, you can, get an inspiration, you can write your own gratitude in the app, and you can practice and say affirmations. What are affirmations? Well, affirmations are you telling yourself that positive outcomes are in your life, not you want them to be. You're thankful and grateful because they're already there. And changing your mindset to having those type of outcomes is gold. It's gold, because it'll set you on a straight path, because there's a lot of things that we react to poorly as a people. We've been taught to react poorly to things as a people. And it shows, because I see people crashing out. I seen somebody waving the strap on live this morning. I'm like, what are we doing? We're reacting poorly to things that are being said. These are words, man. Words. Words get people in bags that are not good. And what they don't realize is when you chase a bad bag, the bad is going to stay around. It ain't going to go nowhere. If you chase good outcomes, good is going to stay around. It sounds cliche. It sounds like it really doesn't, you know what I mean, really work that way. But you have to really start seeking into yourself and really saying, am I really focusing on the good? You might be speaking it out in the atmosphere. You might be, you know, desiring it to a degree, but are you really, really focusing on the good? Sometimes you gotta ask yourself that question. There's a lot of y'all that I consider, somewhat conscious. I am. I am. Thank you, EOS. Appreciate it. Always being careful. You see, it's the way of the universe. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's a lot of people that got, certain characteristics that are high vibration, that are, you know, things that you can look up to. But yet and still, I see some of those same people allowing life to beat on them because of things that tend to happen. I used to do it. That's the only reason why I talk about these things. It's because I used to do the same stuff. I used to do the same stuff. I'm telling y'all. I used to do the same stuff. I used to react to things poorly and then wonder why the poor stayed around me. It's because I was putting that in the atmosphere. When you put that stuff in the atmosphere, it's going to end up staying around you, whether you want it to or not. Whether you want it to or not, it's going to stay around you. And how do you get over that? Well, you got to start doing exactly the opposite. Is it easy to change your mindset to that? No, because habits are practiced, right? We practicing good and bad habits every single day. We know by now what our good habits and our bad habits are. But yet and still, it's up to us to change them. Up to us. Can't just happen miraculously and fall out. Sometimes things like that happen in life, and people are blessed with good fortune out of nowhere. What's going on, Annie Mae? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Sometimes, but sometimes the road is a little tougher. How do you handle adversity? That's the challenge that I have for y'all today. Learn how to challenge yourself and react to adversity better. And stop being the woe is me person all the time. Because being woe is me all the time is not going to bring you closer to your goals. It's not. Sometimes we feel like, I remember one time I was living in it. When I was living in Atlanta, I had probably hit one of my in there because I was there for a few months, and I noticed that the road was a lot tougher than I anticipated when I first got there. I had a plan. It was thought out, but it wasn't well thought out. And things, unfortunate circumstances ended up happening. My car ended up dying on me about almost 3 to 4 weeks after I got there. That was a big blow because I was living in a part of Atlanta where you can't be without transportation. You cannot be without transportation. And it was just meant to go that way. And I was really feeling down. I had a down thing. Just and to show you how it continues to stays around you. If it's on your brain, because like I'm walking because I'm not driving no more. You know what I'm saying? I trip, I fall, and I break my phone. So, these are the things that I'm talking about. Love you back. You already know. Nothing but love. This is Pisces season. We spread the love. I still spread the love. I used to say it a lot back in the day, and it kind of got popular to people saying that. You know what I'm saying? But no, getting back to it, like the phone broke because I'm still staying in the sunken place. Like, woe is me. I'm in an area of Atlanta without no car. I pretty much, for a while, had to go without clientele. But eventually, I got into these teachings about the law of attraction. Once I did that, I started to change my mindset. And as soon as I started to change my mindset, things started coming my way. I ended up finding me a little scooter so I can get around. I ended up doing certain things and put myself in certain positions to be in those positions where, things started taking shape and form. Now, was it an easy road? No. Did I have to go through more obstacles after that? Absolutely. But I was able to handle a lot more of them more effectively because I started changing the way I think. Started hitting the gym, started doing all kind of different things that were positive outlets. You know what I'm saying? Stopped complaining so much about my situation. Eventually, I started getting around people, started moving around. Man, listen. It changed when my mindset started to change. And I was starting to react to things better in a lot of ways. It was just that simple. change the way you think, things are going to start to change. And I was still in the process of learning how to manifest the positive outcomes. And it's going to be a process because most of the behaviors that we have are learned behaviors. Learned and practiced. Learned and practiced. I think at this point, everybody knows what habits they got to work on. But you got to really work on them. You cannot sit there and say, oh, I want to be better with this. I want to be better with that. You got to put the work in and really, really lock in and be better in them situations. Because if you don't, it's going to stay right there. Like the bubonic plague. The reaction that dictates the end results. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Who's bringing this information to y'all on the AM King show when we had that going? Now everybody's doing their thing. Blunt Conversations, Mellow Man still doing the woke show. You know what I'm saying? The network is still there. Make a long story short, though, the message is still the same. It's the reaction that dictates the end results. It's the reaction that dictates the end results. That's 110% fact. And it's really important for us to understand that because there's more power in your hands than you giving yourself credit for. I ain't gonna lie. People was asking me, oh, do you got an opinion about what's going on in the state of hip-hop in Pittsburgh? I was like, no, I don't. And they was like, well, why not? Well, it's because first of all, it's none of my business. What's going on out there right now ain't got shit to do with me. And most of the people that was getting involved in it ain't got shit to do with them either. But that's neither here nor there. But no, it's because I'm not going to react to something that has a poor vibration like that. No. You know what I'm saying? I think we all need to go back in the archives and define what hip hop really stood for. You know what I'm saying? Like the movement, the lifestyle, not the music. The movement and the lifestyle. You gotta go back and redefine that. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, hip hop has evolved to what it is. And there's a lot of it that I like. Some of it I don't like. But that's just like anybody else. You're gonna like what you like, you're gonna not like what you don't like. And so, but getting back to the main point is, if I was reacting poorly to things, I would have put my 2 cents in with the rest of y'all. And the lesson that is to be got from this is that if it's none of your business, why are you worried about it? And not only that, but this world is too big to just be centered around one in particular thing. Here, this world's too big. Oh yeah, hip-hop was meant to move away from ignorant living and oppressive living. And that's coming from somebody that's from New York. That's where it was born. Let's keep it real. That's what hip-hop was meant for. Hip-hop was meant to get us out of these mindsets that a lot of y'all have. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say. Everybody's too invested in the politics of hip-hop. And to be honest with you, I'll say something that's going to be offensive to some of y'all. A lot of y'all don't even got your credentials in order. And you're sitting here talking about what the scene should be like and what the scene should be like. But if I ask you, you got your PRO straight, you got all your other credentials in order, and you tell me no, then you wasting a lot of hot air. You're wasting a lot of hot air over nothing. You ain't really got a speaking term in the game if you don't got your T's crossed and your I's dotted. That's the real subject here, in my opinion. The real subject ain't no more about, man, y'all come together with these state of the hip-hop posts and lives and all this other shit. Man, that's not the subject no more. The subject is how many of y'all got y'all paperwork straight. If you really try to be in this business to make profit, how much of your paperwork is straight? I guarantee you ain't nobody gonna sit there and answer that question, because that's really what it's all about. How many of y'all got a website of your own? How many of y'all understand how much it really costs to break a single the way you want it to be broken? Those are the subjects that get overlooked. Everybody's talking about, oh, such and such did such and such did this, such and such did that. Man, speaking from my perspective, that's some cornball ass shit y'all be doing, man. It's corny as shit. Corny. If you really look at the scope of what you're talking about, it's so minuscule in the real subject of the issue of this region right here. Region right here is everybody ain't playing right because everybody don't understand the business of music. If you're in the business of music, if you're not in the business of music, that part of it ain't for you. But you're reacting poorly because you've been taught to look at what's going on social media. What's the latest scandal? What's the latest controversy? What's the latest? Americans thrive on controversy, especially us Black Americans. We thrive on controversy. We can't wait to tear each other down. We've been taught to pit that shit against each other. And no matter how much y'all say it's this, that, and the third, no, that's what it is. That's what it is. Sad, man, because I'm glad I learned how to step over that. Because y'all too invested in what's going on around here. And really ain't got your yard swept all the way clean. How dare you sit there and try to point the finger at somebody else and your yard ain't clean? That was a lot of wasted time for y'all. And I felt bad because y'all wasted about 2 weeks of your life debating about some shit that ain't gonna change because the subject is the completely wrong one. How many of y'all got y'all paperwork straight? How many of y'all understand what it really takes to run a music business? Let's get to that. Let's talk about that. No need to conquer the world when the peasants will tear it down. Man, see, come on, man. No need to conquer the world when the peasants will tear it down for you. Y'all too invested in the wrong thing here. I care about this scene just as much as anybody else does. Anybody that tells you otherwise, they lying. They capped. And put a lot of work in these streets around here. Put my freedom at risk. Fucking around with some of you niggas. Okay? Real shit. So I give a damn about it. What I don't give a damn about is the negative shit that comes with it. Because I know I'm from the school where we understand that's not what this was meant for. See y'all crashing out on each other and shit like that. I'm just sitting back watching this shit like, Like, damn, they don't get it. And no matter, even if somebody tries to tell you, you don't get it. It goes like this. Got to react better. Points back to the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Reacting better. And lately, I haven't been having the desire to really get on this shit because it's negative. So 90% of this shit is negative. There's really no positive shit going on right now. There is some positive shit going on, but every time somebody tries to do something positive, y'all slap that shit down. We all got a responsibility to be right by things, regardless of whether we choose to have that accountability and responsibility. That accountability starts with yourself. Respect, bro. Respect, Bummy Sean. You already know what it is. But niggas is too focused on the wrong thing. Y'all focused on T.I. and 50 Cent. Y'all focused on this, whatever's going on out there in the political world. We're not political. Come on, man. But sensationalism is something that, that's why when I did the video while the storm was going on about power tripping, that's what I was talking about. You think you're power tripping, but you're power slipping. The loudest one is the weakest one. Never learn to fight, so you use a gun. Just acting a fool with the money. The street got some news for you, sonny. Flashing the cake like a dummy. You'll be crying they took something from me. In the street, there are no rules. Full of killers and stone fools. Power tripping over everything. When it's beef, what you gonna do? Real beef, though. Like, so this shit on the internet is internet-based beef. And makes y'all pull out hammers, telling people like we ain't having this beef, this. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man. We gotta have a better outcome and a better day. Better days. Everybody be living off this tough in the past, way in the past. Shit. You was tough back then. You had to be tough back then. You don't gotta be tough now. No, you gotta be a regular person. Be a regular person for a change. Try them pants on. See how they fit. Be a regular motherfucker sometimes. Because you can't be regular when you put negative energy out in the atmosphere and then you expect your life to still go in a positive direction. It's not. It's not going to go in a positive direction. It's just that simple. It's not. You hoping and wishing that it's going to? It's not. Because the minute that you say something negative out in the atmosphere or you put something negative down on social media, I don't care if you write it, speak it, think it. Whatever your thought is, because you have to think about something before you actually do it. Whatever that thought is, it's going to keep that shit right around you. Oh, I just want. But niggas is, women is. That shit's corny. I had to start looking at myself like I was corny when I was doing that shit. Mont, what up, though? Well, I know. Salute. Hey, man, I'm just trying to tell it like it is, bro. And ain't no diss or no disrespect to none of y'all doing what y'all doing. You have an agenda, you have a focus, do it the way you do it. But remember this. If you're speaking negative in the atmosphere, you're telling the internet, God, what it is, and then you wonder why shit ain't moving the way for you that it should be moving, it's because you speak it out there, and the universe, whether you like it or not, responds to that. It responds to it in a very, very strong way. It will keep some negative shit around you. Oh, I got over this hump. Now here comes some more shit. But you don't realize you spoke that shit into existence. Just telling you straight up. Some of y'all gonna like what I got to say, some of y'all ain't. I get that. But we're gonna have to have a discussion about what's right. Real subject in this city is, do you got your business in order? I know Mont does. I know the people that are talking to me right now got their shit in order. But if you ain't got your shit in order and you out there talking all the time, stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Oh, yeah, got to. Got to, Mark. Got to, because being a person that's looked up to as an elder statesman in the game, I have to say something. Because the subject can be getting way off the shit, man. That should be way off. And it's like, it hurts me to see y'all doing this shit to yourselves. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that allow life to beat them and they don't realize it's your words that's coming out your mouth from your habits that's making that shit stay where it is. Hate to tell you. Hate to tell you. But rather tell you. That makes sense. I'd rather tell you. Because ain't nobody really talking about the right thing. Everybody's talking about the same shit. Oh, such and such is better than such and such, this, that, and the third. Last I checked, everybody's still here. Everybody's still here rowing in the boat together. But this person's better than this person's better. That's subjective. That's subjective. Cannot force me to like something that I don't like. Cannot force me to dislike something that I do like. But you also have no control, none, over my vibration. That's me. So that's the message that I'm sending to y'all. You're in control of your vibration. If your vibration is in a shitty sunken place, it's the reason why the shit still stays around you. And you got to work on that. I had to work on it. It's still a work in progress every day for all of us. But the minute that you think that you about to crash out, or you think that it's cute that you crashing out, think again. I'm gonna holler at y'all in a minute though. I got work to do. Love and light. Pisces season in effect. Peace. See y'all tonight on the Lovely Radio Show.